Hey friends, welcome. So today I'm going to do a deep dive into the three levels or the three areas of nervous system expansion that I work on with clients to completely shift their receiving reality and help them feel safe and confident in their life, their business, so that they can actually essentially accelerate their results and create more with a lot more ease and a lot more joy. And so I'm going to show you what these three levels are, and I'm going to start pointing towards what are some of the things you can do to start rewiring yourself in these three areas as well. Before I get going, I'm going to take a minute to introduce myself in case you're new to me. Hi, I'm Ilsa. I'm a total spiritual nerd, and for the last 18 years or so, I've been a psychotherapist, an expansion expert, and a strategist for entrepreneurs and leaders. I teach my clients essentially how to rewire their nervous system, their lives, their relationships, their bodies, and their businesses for more. If you want more expansive growth and more easeful receiving in life, in love, in work, in wealth, in leadership, then you're in the right place. Welcome. Before I get started, I have a special invite for you. I want to invite you to schedule one of my 90-minute one-on-one Wired for Wealth Intensive. It's 55% off for anyone who's new to me and my work. And I only offer 3 of those each month. It's first come, first serve. And I believe we still have some open for this month. This is essentially a one-off intensive where you and I work together, like deep diving to discover your nervous system blocks. And then I also take some time to teach you and take you step by step through my proven process to bring you out of contraction and back into expansion so that you can create the results you want in your life and in your business without stressing, without second guessing yourself, without spinning, hustling, sacrificing what matters most, or even sabotaging yourself. So if you're ready to unlock the power of your nervous system to make you more money with more ease, then just click in the link in the description of this video. All right, let's get started. So as entrepreneurs, there's a lot of things we've got to do and focus on to essentially be successful, to create momentum, from figuring out who our ideal client is, to having a clear and compelling message, to figuring out our unique positioning and how we're different, and all the marketing stuff, right? Like everything we need to do to put our work out there and to start attracting the right people to us. Like just naming it is exhausting. And to some degree, all of that is important and all of that is necessary. But to me, nothing is more important than rewiring and calibrating our nervous system to the results we want. Because all these things I just listed literally can take you years to figure out. Like all the marketing strategies that work for you. Like I've seen so many of my clients like pivot their offers, pivot their messaging, change how they're talking about the problem they're solve or the like special results or promise that they're offering. Like when we don't have a clear anchor in our own being, when our nervous system is in contraction and not in expansion, we don't have access to our own clarity. So for me, nervous system expansion work is the foundation because it gives you access to what I call your right brain genius. It literally gives you access to the clarity you need to know exactly the answer to all those things, to know exactly who your ideal client is without second guessing, without spinning, to know exactly, what offer you want to offer that's going to really feel amazing to you and to your ideal client, to know without any doubt how your work is different and your unique positioning and why you are the missing link to everything that all your clients have done before that hasn't worked for them. Nervous system expansion work allows you to know which marketing campaign, which strategy to use that's going to be in absolute alignment with who you are and is going to essentially reach and be compelling to your ideal clients. So nervous system expansion work essentially allows you to create a business model that is going to be sustainable and that you're going to love long term. Without that, you keep spinning, you keep pivoting, you keep changing your mind, you keep throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to see what's going to stick. When your nervous system comes into regulation and expansion, you essentially, all those million things you got to figure out and you're supposed to do and know, you exchange all of that for a business that is simple and clear. Everything from your selling process to your offer, to your messaging, to your marketing, essentially becomes like it's in your face. Like you have no doubt about it. And all the confusion, all the friction, all the busy work, all the following every shiny object, thinking that might be the solution, all of the spinning in your head, all of that drops away. So that's the first reason why I think nervous system expansion work is the foundation of a successful business. It's the foundation of building momentum. It's the foundation of visibility. It's the foundation to client involvement and creating a business you're going to love long term. The second reason that I feel like nervous system expansion work is a foundation is because it defines your receiving paradigm. It defines how much you feel safe allowing yourself to create and receive. Essentially, the truth is you're only able to create and receive what your nervous system believes and feels is safe to receive. Nothing less, nothing more. If some part of you feels that receiving abundantly, whether that is making more money, having more clients, or getting visible, if some part of you feels that any part of this is dangerous to you, that any part of this is going to create a negative backlash or come at a high cost or sacrifice to you, to your health, your happiness, your freedom, then your nervous system will literally contract and will block your progress. And when I say, if any part of you feels like this is going to come at a high cost, that high cost could be anything from being afraid that you're going to be judged or criticized, to everyone's going to want a piece of me, to I'm going to lose my freedom and my free time if I have more clients, or even a fear that what if a client doesn't get results and is unhappy with me? Like anything within you that makes you have like a mini oh shit, or heaviness, all of those things essentially are going to create a block in your nervous system that is going to push away your ability to create and receive, your ability to feel safe with having and holding more. When I work with entrepreneurs and leaders, we're always working on bringing the nervous system out of that sense of contraction, out of that, oh shit, out of that, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I'm ready, I don't know if I'm worthy, what if this, what if that happens, into a place of regulation and relaxation, which is where receiving starts to become possible. Like in here, it's like having your hand like this. There's nothing that can come in. But the moment your hand opens even just a little bit, some things can start to drop in and you can start to hold more. So when we bring the nervous system into regulation, relaxation, leaning back, starting to open, that's when we start to become receptive. And that includes receptive in terms of receiving all the things we want, opportunities, money, clients, visibility, but it also means receptive in terms of receiving that clarity that I was talking about, receiving the ability to know what your 20% is. You heard of the 80-20 rule? Like 80% of your results are created by 20% of your actions. When you have that level of clarity, when your right brain genius is essentially awakened, you start to know very clearly what's my 20%? What are the things I need to do that will create the most results with the most ease and the most joy? So that's first, we bring the nervous system into regulation and relaxation so that receiving can start to become possible. And then we teach the nervous system how to move from this place of relaxation to expansion, to bigness, to essentially, it's not just about starting to open, it's about getting bigger so that we can start to receive more. And we can start to calibrate to more money, more clients, more visibility, more opportunities, more clarity, more confidence, more certainty. And then what we do, the last little bit of this, is we teach the nervous system to stay regulated in expansion. You see, expansion for most of us is scary. The moment we go into this place of bigness, oftentimes there's parts of us that are going to say, oh no, I can't have that much. I can't be that big. I can't be that visible. I can't charge that much. I can't have that many clients. Something's going to happen in our nervous system. So when we work on recalibrating for more, we have to literally teach our entire system that more is safe. And it's okay to stay regulated as we expand. It's okay to step into more over and over and over, that the next level can be safe. And then the next level can be safe. And we do that because if not, expansion will trigger something in you, a fear response, and then you'll go right back into contraction. So this is the cycle. The cycle with nervous system work is we start with contraction, we move into regulation and relaxation, then we move into full expansion, and then we move into regulated expansion. And we come back to that cycle, to that circle of growth, to that spiral. We come back to that over and over in all the levels, in all the 3 levels that I'm going to share with you. So let's talk about these levels. When I work with clients on rewiring their receiving paradigm, essentially, and rewiring their minds, their nervous system, their bodies for more, I work on 3 different levels. The first one I call quantity. There's usually 2 reasons people come to work with me. Quantity is the first one. And what I mean by quantity is that clients come to me because they want more. They want more quantity of something. They want more clients, they want more money, or they want more visibility. These seem to be the big 3. Maybe they want more support as well sometimes. And so oftentimes clients, when they're coming to see me, they're in that category, they're hitting some kind of upper ceiling. They want to get past something and they can't quite make more money. No matter what, they seem to stay in that range. They can't bring in more clients. No matter what, they can't have more reach or more impact. Like they're hitting some kind of upper ceiling. Or even if they move past the upper ceiling, they tend to come back underneath it. They can't sustain that next level of growth. So they can't hold that next level or they can't replicate it. Like I've had clients come to me and say, I had this massive launch and I made this much money and where I enrolled this many clients and I've been trying to get back to that and I can't do it. I'm stuck here. So quantity is for people who feel like I'm stuck at this level and I can't seem to bring in more. What we're doing at this level, and if this is you, this is the first thing you want to work with. The first step to essentially expanding your quantity, to recalibrating your nervous system for more in terms of quantity, is You want to regulate your nervous system and learn to feel safe, to feel okay with where you are right now. And I know that that seems counterproductive, almost paradoxical, because you're going to say to me, well, Ilsa, if I'm coming to talk to you about the fact that I'm not bringing in enough clients, I'm not bringing in enough money, I'm not getting visible to the level that I want, I'm doing that because I'm not okay with where I'm at. If I was okay with where I was at, I wouldn't talk to you. That is true. And yet, that is the paradox. You can't create the future you desire by being at war with the present. And for many of us, that is the first thing that is creating friction and that is holding us back. You can't shift into more receiving by being in resistance. Resistance is literally the antithesis to receiving. It blocks all the flow of receiving. So if this is you, if you find yourself unable to bring in more, your first step is to always start to break down whatever resistance, whatever friction you've got with what's happening right now. And at least, you don't have to fall in love with where you're at, but at least come to a place of neutrality, come to a place of safety, come to a place of it's okay to be where I'm at. I'm going to figure it out. I'm loved anyways. I'm supported anyways. I've accomplished and I'm proud of myself anyways, no matter what. And essentially start to come into a place where you start to relax. You start to regulate exactly where you're at. That's always the first step. Once the nervous system is regulated and okay with what is, then the next step is you start to step into expansion. And by talking about expansion at this level of quantity, what we're talking about is essentially expanding your capacity to receive and hold more in a way that feels safe and sustainable, and calibrating your nervous system to feel safe with more. So remember all these things I mentioned earlier? Like if your nervous system feels like having more is going to come to a cost, it's going to stay in contraction. It's going to block your ability to receive and to essentially create more. It's going to block your momentum and your progress. This is what I mean here. We essentially, like all the parts of you that are saying, the more clients is going to rob me of my free time. What if clients don't get results and are upset and ask for their money back? But what if I get visible and people start to criticize me or attack me? What if I start making money and all my family members start to want a piece of me? All these what ifs that are inside us on some unconditional, not unconditional, it's at some kind of unconscious level. All of those fears, they're wired in your nervous system. They're anchored in you. And unless you address them and you start to recalibrate your nervous system to feel safe with more, you will block it. So that's the next level is if you are here, once you've come to this place of regulation and being okay with where you're at and not having so much resistance, not being at war with where you're at, then you want to ask yourself, the next question is, what are the ways that I'm actually afraid of success? What are the ways that success actually might not be a good idea? Might come at a cost. And you want to start like listing all of these and start meeting all the parts of you that are afraid of succeeding. And obviously, when I work with clients, I have a specific process that I do with them to bring them into safety and then to start to expand and feel safe with receiving. And by the way, I teach you that process in that Wired for Wealth intensive, that 90-minute initial call with me. Like I teach you exactly my hatching process to bring you out of that. So if you're interested in knowing how to do this kind of work for yourself, then absolutely click the link in the description and let's do some deep work together. So that was first. First is quantity. People come to me because they want more tangible things. Number two, the second level I work at, the second level people come to me is quality. This is when people come speak to me because Quantity is not the issue. They have the quantity figured out. They know how to make money most of the time. They're making good money. They know how to bring in clients, or they have clients. The problem is that their business is draining their soul. The problem is that the whole work feels hard. It feels draining. It feels overwhelming to sustain and to continue. And sometimes people come from both, right? Sometimes people come from because they want more and they want more ease. They're working too hard, they're overwhelmed for too little results. Obviously, we're always working on both. But when somebody's coming to me because they want to shift quality, and here's the thing people don't understand. Remember this thing about how your nervous system will block your ability to essentially bring in and hold more if you feel like more is dangerous? That's the quality piece. Most people only want to focus on quantity, and they don't realize that actually the quality of your receiving is what defines how safe bringing in more will feel and will be. And the more safe you feel with bringing more in, the more you bring in. So when you have the quantity figured out, but you feel drained, you're potentially not enjoying your life or your business. To me, that's a clear indication that expansion, having more, still doesn't feel safe, and it hasn't been normalized in your body. And because it hasn't been normalized, there's something in you that essentially believes that the only way to have more, the only way you will allow yourself to have more, is by making it hard, is by working really hard, is by putting a lot of effort and sacrificing for it. And it's a little bit of a vicious cycle, because if the only way to have more is to work really hard for it, then more never feels good. And at some point, there's only so much more you can do. So you always feel like you're going to hit that ceiling. So when a client comes to me from this place of being burnt out, from this place of overwhelm, or maybe even they feel like an imposter because they're working so damn hard, they're efforting so much to have the success that they have, then what we're doing here is we're rewiring their nervous system for sovereignty, for ease, for pleasure, for play in business, for something in them that says it's actually okay to make a lot, to have a lot, from a place of flow and simplicity. We start to really shift away from that hard and sacrifice conditioning into a place of you don't need to force. You can create from flow. You don't have to make it happen. You can let it happen. Money gets to be received rather than having to be earned. So we're rewiring the nervous system at this level to come into a deep relationship of mutual love and mutual support with your business, almost like business and money start to feel like good friends that you know well and that you can trust, friends that are supportive, comforting, and familiar. And when that happens, then our capacity for more increases, and our ability to ask, to receive, and to hold more actually starts to feel safe. It starts to feel easeful. It starts to feel joyful. And it starts to feel normal. So when you do that, when you're able to make growth joyful and easeful, then there's no ceiling. Then growth is actually what your nervous system starts to want. And then quantity actually almost takes care of itself. You start to earn more, but you're not earning more from a place of more burdens, more responsibility, more things to do. You're actually earning more from almost less. So that's number 2, is shifting and recalibrating the nervous system for ease, for joy, for simplicity in growth, for simplicity in more. Number 3, the third level, once we've worked on quantity and we've worked on quality, then the next level is we work on identity. Now, let me say this. When you're working on quantity and quality, you're always kind of working on identity. At its core, nervous system expansion work is actually identity work. It's about becoming the kind of man or woman who gets to create and receive the results you want without having to twist yourself up like a spritzel, without having to spin, to hustle, to push, to sacrifice, to second guess, to pull, to effort. It's about leadership. It's about becoming the version of you who feels so safe, so at home in your own being, in your own skin, and in your business that you know exactly what you want. You know exactly how to get there and what to do. And you have no doubt that you are worthy, you are ready, and you are able to create and hold the results you want from a place of peace, from a place of ease, from a place of joy. That level, like, and that's not just something, it's not mindset. It's something you end up feeling in your bones. You literally become someone new. That level of clarity, that level of conviction, that level of certainty, of calm, of expansion, that level of presence is extremely attractive and compelling to potential clients. And it makes marketing and selling significantly easier because literally your presence, the peace and the power they sense in you becomes what sells. I like to say that people don't buy what you're selling, they buy the expansion that they sense in you. And they buy the expansion they sense is possible for them by working with you. So your nervous system essentially is the conductor. It's always defining how much you get to receive and have. That's the quantity. It also defines how much ease and joy you get to experience in the process of creating, achieving, amassing more. That's the quality. And then how contracted or expanded your nervous system is defines who you are being, how you show up, how powerful and peaceful and magnetic your presence is. It also defines what you expect to receive and how you expect to be received. Let me say that again. Your nervous system defines what you expect to receive and how you expect to be received. That's the identity, that's your being. The reason this is so important to move beyond simply that nervous system, obviously it's important to move beyond nervous system contraction because can't do shit from there. But it's also important to move past just this regulation into that expansion because literally your entire neurocircuitry, your brain, your body is calibrated and in service to your current level. Like everything about you right now, if you're regulated, you're essentially committed to staying safe and to staying comfortable with where you're at. Everything about you is committed to keeping you where you're at in your business, in your life, to essentially continuing your current results, your current identity. Why? Because they're familiar. That's what you're used to. That's what feels safe. That's what feels normal to your body, to your nervous system. So your biochemistry, how you think, what you believe, how you feel, all of that is literally in service of where you're currently at. And to move into that next level, you have to you have to recalibrate your nervous system and you have to actually expand your identity. Your next level is always a threat to your current nervous system. because it's the unknown, because it's more, because it makes you bigger. And getting bigger oftentimes can have, like, not everybody's going to like it. So your next level is always a threat to your current nervous system. That's why increasing your capacity to receive and hold more requires that upgrade. It requires a recalibration. It requires that all of you, every part of you, feel safe with being, receiving, and having more. Who you are at 50K, at 100K, or at a million is simply different. And you can't put the 50K version of you in the 100K or 500K reality. Just like you can't put a 5-year-old into a Ferrari. They're going to crash and burn. Nothing good's going to happen from that. You have to expand yourself. You have to expand your identity to the level you desire to experience, or you will sabotage it. You have to make sure, to follow with that metaphor, that you're tall enough to see above the hood, to reach the pedals, and to feel really comfortable and confident behind the wheel. If you don't, then you won't be able to get to your destination with as much ease and joy as you desire. So when you're stuck at any level, you're stuck at 25K, 50K, 100K, 500K, it doesn't matter. That amount is literally wired into you. It's in your nervous system. It's in your biology. It's in the way you think, feel, believe, show up, move. It's in your posture. Not only is it like, it's literally become your identity. And because it's become your identity, it is also your reality. Oftentimes people think, when I shift my reality, I will have a different identity. It's actually the other way around. For most of us, we have to feel safe in being a bigger version of ourselves before we can create a bigger reality. If not, we create a lot of friction, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of hard in creating that new reality. So when I work with clients on identity, I do a lot of work around sovereign leadership and essentially helping them ask themselves. And so this is a little bit like my homework for you. If, like, how to work with identity. What I ask oftentimes my clients, and I have a lot of expansion hacks around that, guided journeys, journaling exercise, like different exercise embodiment work that I provide them to essentially start stepping ahead of time into a version of themselves who has already succeeded, a version of themselves who feels completely whole, completely worthy, wealthy, and free already, and has all the wisdom they need to accomplish what my client is trying to accomplish. So I teach them how to come back into safety and calm and certainty and claim that they already know. The knowing, the knowledge is inside them. The knowledge is inside you. Just like you have access to your child self who remembers how to be in wonder, who remembers how to play, how to be spacious, how to have joy. You also have access to a future version of you who knows how to be limitless, who knows what the next steps are, who has that clarity of what to do to get to the results you want with more ease and joy. So the answer is already here and the path forward is available, but we have to claim that. And we have to become spacious enough and anchor in our own knowing, in our own peacefulness enough that we can expand our perspective to have new eyes and to start seeing the way through. So you might simply, like, I can't give you all the practices I give my clients, but here you might simply stop when you feel stuck and you might simply say to yourself, like almost feel into a reality, a version of you who already feels whole, who's already accomplished your goal, who feels safe with having more, who feels worthy, who feels wealthy, who feels free with more. And you might simply say to yourself, if I was that person and I had already gotten the results I want, and I was looking at myself struggle and wonder and stay confused, what might I say to myself? What's the thing I need to do next? What's the quality I need to practice? What's the thing I need to let go of that's not working for me? And you'll be surprised how much wisdom you can have access to from just a slightly more expanded perspective. So as you rewire your nervous system, you literally become a different person. And as you shift your identity, literally your brain, your biochemistry, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you move, as well as your lived experience starts to change as well. As you expand, you exponentially increase what's possible for you. You increase what you have the capacity to essentially be and what you have the capacity to create, to receive, to have, and to hold. So those are the 3 levels of expansion work. And you have to work on all 3 to really anchor in a new reality. You work on quantity, quality, identity. With quantity, you are working on feeling safe with where you're at, so you're not creating a whole bunch of friction and resistance in your current experience and blocking your ability to essentially expand into more. And you're learning to essentially calibrate your nervous system with more so you can start to feel safe with more. With quality, you're rewiring your nervous system so that it gets to be easy. You're starting to shift all that old conditioning that says that success is hard, that success requires sacrifice, that success takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. You're starting to shift all of that built-in programming and start to rewire and step into a reality of ease, of pleasure, of delight, of feeling nourished by your work, by your business, of feeling supported by your business rather than feeling like you're supporting your business. Then you shift into identity, where as you're working at the identity, that ease, that play, that more starts to become normalized. It starts to become expected. It starts to become familiar so that there's literally no more friction. You're not continuously moving back into contraction. Oftentimes, when I work with clients and we're doing this work at the beginning and you're working on expansion, there can be this yo-yo effect where we expand and something in us says, oh shit, and we contract again. And then we come back into expansion and we contract again. That's because the identity hasn't truly been anchored in expansion. So in expansion, you become the kind of man or woman who is so safe in their own beings, feels so good in their own business, is so anchored in confidence and calm certainty that you always know your way forward. And you have absolutely no doubt whatsoever that whatever comes your way, you can handle. And you will know the simplest, fastest, most enjoyable way to deal with it, to work with it. And so with identity, you come into a place of spaciousness, into a confidence, a serene authority that becomes extremely attractive to other people and becomes a lot of the reason why they want to work with you. And at that point, you are the most powerful and the most peaceful force in your life and in your business. And by the way, that's something we're always stepping more and more into, right? Like I do this work. I'm still working in that leadership. I'm still working in becoming like that level, that next level of peace, that next level of confidence, that's next level of calm certainty. We're always on a continuum to more quantity, more quality of ease, of joy, and more identity of spaciousness, of sovereignty. So if you are ready to shift out of contraction and you're curious about diving into a quantum expansion journey with me, in partnership with your nervous system, then let's have a session together. Let's make some serious magic happen. As I said at the beginning of this live, for people who are new to me, I offer 90-minute Wired for Wealth Intensive one-on-one with me at 55% off. And I offer 3 of those a month. So first come, first serve, just click on the link up above and book yours. In this intensive, where essentially we're going to figure out and explore kind of like what are your unique nervous system wounds or blocks that are holding you back. And then I'm going to teach you my proprietary process, my hatching process. I'm going to take you step by step. And this is a process I only teach face to face because I want to customize it to you and I want to make sure you get it. And that process literally teaches you how to bring your nervous system through all these phases, how to bring your nervous system out of that contraction into regulation and relaxation, into expansion, and then how to stay safe, how to stay regulated in expansion. And it teaches you how to do that in every area of your life and your business. So together, we're going to unlock the power of your nervous system to bring about a completely new experience of creating, receiving, and having more in your life and in your business. And I want to do that in a way, like this is the quality piece. I want to do that in a way that truly nourishes and delights all of you. From your soul, your heart, to your bank account. And then if you want to continue working with me, I'll give you a couple different options to fit your needs, fit your goals, fit your budget. So if you're ready for this, just click the link in the description of this video. Let's get going. Let's create some magic together. Let's do some deep expansion work. And I'm going to leave you with this little bit. I want you to remember that you have everything you need to succeed inside you. You are the most peaceful and powerful force in your life. And your nervous system is literally the path to healing your past. But it's also the key to unlocking your potential and the future that is possible for you. And I would love to be your guide on this journey to expansion. All right, that's what I have for you. Sending you love and talk to you soon.